I'm Wyn Evans, the Go Compare man. I'm often asked who does the singing voice on the ads. Come on, it's me. Here I am in real life.
Gears, he's confident, he's got one or two options, Newton. He can either get right up to Turner on his chest and all-out approach where you're just going forward, but there you risk getting caught actually going forward then. If he gets up close to him, he can try and work at short range, but that's a big risk. The other option is maybe, like I say, sit back and try and get Turner to make a mistake over the front foot and then catch him with a counter, but it's very difficult for Newton.
Turner definitely trying to soften Newton up with some big body shots now as we're in this third round. Two more good shots, powerful right hand. Being urged by his corner to continue looking for shots like that, and there's a big left hand this time.
Yeah, Newton's got to keep those hands up, hasn't he, when Turner's coming forward. It's classy stuff from Turner. Good variety of punches as well, with the hooks to the body and the odd left uppercut that goes in, straight left hand there downstairs, and of course it's all behind that jab of his. So there's a bit of quality there.
Tall lad, isn't he? I mean, nominally a super lightweight, but with a frame like that, you'd think that at some stage, if his career develops, he could very much go on to welterweight. A bit of a standoff, maybe Newton doing a little bit more what you were suggesting, Richie, and just waiting for Turner to commit himself.
Yeah, and he's doing the right thing, as in popping the odd jab out here and there, but he just needs to sit back, pop the jab out and try and get a reaction from Turner and then counter the counter. That's what he's got to try and do, but has he got the speed to do it? I don't know. He's a tough kid, Newton. He's got to keep those elbows tucked in. But yeah, when it's standoff, when the pace slows down like that, that actually suits Newton much better.
Oh, a bit of a standoff in the latter stages of this third round. Not too much of note being landed by either man.
You see, that's what he can't afford to do there, John, what Newton did there. Threw the right hand from too far out. It misses the target, he falls short. Turner comes back at him.
And one or two decent left hands to the body in the closing stages of the third round. Well, how did you score that one, Richie? A long way clear for Henry Turner, presumably, and 3-0.
Yeah, another round for Turner. They'll be well pleased in that corner.
Let's have a listen in. Instructions coming in from Alan Smith.
Good work again here from Turner. Keeps the attack going. Newton actually trying to keep out the way of these shots, but it's a good attack from Turner. Newton working well with his jab there. But again, there's that little left uppercut downstairs. Good variety of shots. Straight lefts are going in. Yeah, a good positive round.
And a big reach advantage, which he uses very effectively.
Yes, and well behind that jab, John. That's what he does. The corner will probably be saying to him now, just you could afford to maybe step it up, go through the gears, double up the attacks, maybe in 2 or 3 phases. and put Newton under a little bit more pressure, because like I say, when the pace is slow, it seems to suit Newton a little bit better.
Yeah, to get a stoppage win, Henry Turner, Newton's stablemate Chris Attaway took him 4 rounds a few weeks back. I'm sure Turner would love to secure a first stoppage win, but so far Newton not really looking as though he's been put... OK, he's been losing rounds, but he's not been in big trouble. Again, we've got a little bit of a standoff.
Yeah, that's when he probably needs to go again. You see that single attack, it's impressive, but then he just steps back. He probably needs to go 2 or 3 times.
Is that one of the big differences between the amateur and pro ranks? Amateurs, you kind of develop a style which collects the points.
Well, I mean,
rather than the style which is going to actually potentially force a stoppage.
Well, you've got to get the balance right, John. You've got to go for points only over 3 rounds, but there's lots of stoppages that come into amateur boxing now. Boxers are hitting much harder these days. Training methods are improving, they're getting stronger, they're hitting harder. So there are a lot of stoppages, especially international boxing. So you've got to prepare the boxer to go the 3 rounds at any pace. And of course you have to concentrate on power as well. So yeah, the game is changing because, like I say, fighters are getting fitter, stronger, and they're hitting harder.
There again, 2 decent looking body shots from Turner, but just standing back after seemingly gaining the advantage. Clearly has ability, Henry Turner. If you're in that corner, what's the biggest areas of improvement you'd maybe be looking for?
Well, like I say, they'll work on going 2 or 3 times, maybe. I think he's got all the skills and the tools. What he's showing, see, you just hear the corner say, yeah, go again. So exactly, so they're seeing what we're seeing. And he's listening to his corner there.
Trying to pile on the pressure in the closing seconds of that round. Just caught a little reminder by Des Newton in the last 3 or 4 seconds, and he just looked at him as much as to say, yeah, don't take the mick, I've still got that.
This is pro boxing, and Des Newton's as tough as they come. He's took a lot of shots downstairs, a lot of hard punches. You just see in the corner there say, don't load up. But Newton, he's doing his job. He's in against a classy kid, but yes, he's still in there.
He's still making it competitive, and although he's losing rounds, he's not really been hurt, I don't think, Des Newton. Turner in a 6-rounder for the first time, and now going into the 5th. Oh, that's a decent shot. That left hand, and Newton in a little bit of trouble here. Turner trying to unload, and Newton giving a bit of a smile, as much as to say, is that all you've got? Well, he's prepared to give him some more.
Good work there from Turner, sustained the pressure. Newton, just a smile on his face, but he took some big shots there, did Newton.
Showed what a tough lad he is, though, didn't he?
Tough kid, mate, yeah, definitely. And just made Turner just think again, hasn't it? But it was a good start to the round from Turner.
Got him pretty flush with one of those left hands.
And it's all set up, John, behind that jab. His jab's nice and sharp and crisp. There it is again, right on cue. So, yeah, some excellent stuff here.
I wonder whether these headshots, which are starting to get through a little bit more often now, whether they're having a cumulative effect.
You can see Newton now just getting it, probably feeling the pace a little bit as well. He's been caught with some big punches, and that tires you out, John, when you take shots also. So these punches are getting a little bit slower. A little bit of damage there to the mouth as well for Newton.
And again,
It's being urged by his corner to put some more pressure on, and here it comes.
See, there was just a little bit of lack of experience there from Turner. He just got Newton in a good position then in that corner, and just let him out of that corner a little bit.
Stages of this fifth round, but he's looked as though he's getting Des Newton in a bit of trouble, but Newton been given time to just regroup, recover, and Turner not quite pressing home his advantage. Here comes some more solid shots. Still being urged by his corner to get in there.
Yeah, it seems to be the single attacks, you see, that Newton, he can stand those attacks. Turner just steps off and just pauses for a few seconds, then he goes again.
Well, he's taking everything, Turner, but opportunity may be to have really put his foot on the gas in that fifth round and to have got Newton into trouble. The points at which Newton looked as though he was really struggling.
Well, he had him in the corner, didn't he? And then he let him out of the corner. But this was good work here from Turner. Kept the attack going. This was at the start of the round. Sustained attack and pressure. Backs Newton up into the corner and catches him with some good punches. There it was, set up with the jab. Good straight left. Knocks Newton onto the ropes and then into the corner. But the majority of the round, there were single attacks, and that just allowed Newton just to recover.
Newton showing his experience and some decent defensive skills in that corner. He wasn't going to be tagged by Henry Turner, who's now got just 3 minutes left to try and find the first stoppage win of his career. Move into the sixth and final round. Tall Buckinghamshire southpaw looking for his fourth straight win tonight.
Double attacks, though, kid. There you go, good boy, eh? Again. That left hand over the top.
Newton giving him the rounds and looking very much as though he's going to go the distance.
Yeah, it's a good learning fight for Turner at the end of the day. Newton, he's proven to be a tough nut to crack. And Newton on that back foot all the time, then it's difficult to actually land a real solid shot that's going to have an effect. If Newton keeps moving away from it, that's better because he's got him in the corner. That was a great shot from Turner, that straight left hand. But if Newton keeps moving away from the punches, it just takes the sting out of them, John. It's difficult to knock a man out and stop a man who's moving away from you. If he's coming onto you, then the power is doubled up. See there again, Newton straight away goes on that back foot, just takes the sting out of that left hand.
Solid body shot, but you heard perhaps in the corner there them saying to tones of Alan Smith saying, "Don't admire your work."
I mean, this is only his fourth fight, and he's won every round, and it's been a good display. So, you know,
perhaps Alan would just like to see a little bit more of the devil in his work.
Yeah, maybe so. But he's a young lad. He's boxed very well tonight against a tough opponent who's made it tricky on that back foot.
Well, we've just seen Mickey Burke continue his winning record, a lad of just 19. And Henry Turner, another youngster out of the same gym, just 20 years old, moving close now to securing another win for himself, also going to 4-0. And this is good now. He wanted to stay on him here and keep a sustained attack.
Yeah, there was a nice right hook that went in there. He actually went with the left hand to the body and then switched with that right hand over the top. Right hook that backed Newton into that corner. Good work, good display here. He's kept it going. And like I say, he'll learn from this, John. It's been a good contest for him.
Well, he's won pretty much everything. Good professional display. Des Newton stayed with him, kept him honest, as they say. But Henry Turner just too good technically, I think.
Yeah, he's 4-0 now. That was a good display from him. He's won every round. Des Newton has played his part as well. Tough kid. Didn't fall over. And made Henry Turner work for it a little bit more. But I'd be very pleased with Turner there. I think overall a good display. He's got good skills. He's been well schooled. Yeah, I like what I see. Good stuff in this last round. Backs his opponent in there with a lovely straight left hand. That was a cracking shot from Turner. And again, like I say, Newton always on that back foot. Difficult to nail him with a clean shot. He did there. That was better. So yeah, he just finished the round off well.
Bags of talent in that iBox gym at the moment. And Henry Turner, another one, dreaming of the big time. And Des Newton, I'm sure, just having a few words and telling him, yep, you showed some good skills. And I think there's plenty of words of advice and also congratulations coming from the man from Devon. Nice to see. So the two fighters will be drawn together by referee Bob Williams, who's made his scorecard clear, and I'm sure it'll be 6 rounds out of 6. Thomas Treiber, though, can confirm.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, Bob Williams, scores this contest 60-54 for your winner and still undefeated, Henry the Showman Turner.
Another young prospect doing the business. Henry Turner, 6 rounds out of 6, and another winner from the Alan Smith stable.
He's racking up the wins and he's racking up the rounds, David. Is it all on course, in your opinion?
It's perfectly on course. Real calm, collected, put his punches together. Real classy style. I really liked what he was doing with his feet. And the body attack was beautiful as well. Those bolo left uppercuts to the body were perfect. And the only thing I'd say is he needs to mix the power up. Everything seems quite crisp and hard. You can just touch people. When you've got a journeyman in the corner trying to survive, just tap, just a few taps here and there just to open things up. You don't have to punch through the target every time. Try to make the openings as opposed to trying to punch through them. Other than that, it was a punch-perfect performance. I really like what I saw.
We think that Alan Smith in the corner was heard to say, don't admire your work. What do you think he was referring to?
He would throw a big combination and step back and look and try to see what happened. He doesn't. When you've got
just there,
like that, when you get a man hurt, keep him there, get out of range to see what's happening, but go back with some probing jabs, a few feints, keeping his man on the back foot. And so he let off a nice launch. He goes back and here you go. He could have kept the pace up. And in a fight like this, at a stage like this in his career, he wanted the stoppage. You could really feel the energy from him. He was really trying to close the show. And if he wants to do that as you go up in levels, you've got to, right there, he should be touching, probing, left, right, touching the body, because he's skillful enough to see what's coming back at him at the time to sort of step out of range and come back in. He'd do some great work. He'd go a little too far away and give Newton time to sort of move towards him. But if he steps back and just looks at probing it, even if he leaves his hand out there, move his hand down to come with some hooks, I think he has all the ingredients there.
How do you fix that?
Just more sparring, more fights, just like that. He's doing everything clearly in the gym correctly. He didn't run out of steam. His punch power was there the whole way through. He wasn't blowing, he wasn't gassing. It's just more sparring, more spar with good quality opposition, and it will just start to flow. But this type of opposition should have gave him more trouble, but he was that good that he was able to breeze through it.
And is there another element to it? We'll be speaking later on about some of the trainers involved in some of the very big fights and how important a role they play. in terms of teaching technique, I know it's one thing to have sparring and obviously good professionals in your gym, but those finer details, David, how do you address them?
I find it sparring here. You really is sparring top-level opposition really makes a difference to your style. It really does, and you can have all the pad work you want. You can hit the bag. You can have the best coaches in history telling you what to do. Until you've got a man in there throwing the shots in a realistic pace, it's difficult to teach someone something. I'm a big advocate for sparring, good quality sparring at realistic pace, and he just needs good sparring. He's got all the fundamentals there, good amateur pedigree. He took a couple of shots, they bounced off of him. I really like what I saw.
Thank you, David. Let's throw it right down to Steve.
Thanks very much indeed, Paul. David Hay talking there, Henry, about sparring, saying he likes good quality sparring.
Yeah.
Well, at Alan Smith's gym, there's an awful lot of good sparring, isn't there? Dozens of you.
Yeah, there's a hell of a lot of us. This last few weeks I've been sparring the middleweight that's boxing tonight, CJ. So I've had a lot of heavyweight sparring compared to what I am. So when I go in there, I'm strong, you know what I mean? So it's...
Now, in your previous 3, you floated through. You won just about every round. You didn't have any problems. Today, you won every round, but you had to think a little bit today. You couldn't take any breaks. Bizarrely, you had to work quite hard to win all 6 rounds.
Yeah. Today I stepped up to 6 rounds after having 3-4 rounds. I only found out a couple of days ago that I was doing 6, obviously because the show got cut short a little bit. So I stepped up to the 6, and I'm glad I done it. It was a very good experience in there. Des is a very tough opponent.
He is.
And I thought I had him hurt in the first round, so I went all guns blazing a little bit. But every round, I had to work for the round anyway.
And then when you did have him hurt in the 5th, he made out he wasn't hurt, and you believed him when he started singing and talking to you, it looked to me.
Yeah. He was very cocky in there, wasn't he?
Now, the other thing that David Hay said, and I tell you what, if David Hay ever wants to stop being a pundit and be a trainer, he'd be a great trainer. And he said, you know when you trap Des on the ropes, you're letting everything go a bit too much power. David Hay said, just touch him with a couple of shots. You know that, but it's hard to translate and do it, isn't it?
Yeah, like when you're in there, you just want to get him out there. So you do rush a bit, and it's something I've got to go back in the gym and maybe just work on tapping them, and then smashing the body shot in. And then maybe that'll work one day, eh?
Yeah, listen, it'll work one day. You're still only a baby.
I'm only a baby, ain't I? I've got power to come yet.
He's only a baby, Paulie. 20. Back to you and David.
And he's got a lovely smile as well. Thank you, Steve. The big fights tonight are still ahead here from the BT Sports studio, and also coming up very quickly now, well, surely the biggest fight of 2020 in Britain. Joe Joyce, Daniel Dubois, in a fortnight from now. And when we return, we hear from one of our greatest ever, Lennox Lewis, on that theme.
You're going to be on the edge of your seat wondering, who's going to land the first big shot. Obviously, everybody's looking for Daniel Dubois to land the big shot, but they may be surprised. You never know what comes in a fight. It should be a barn burner.
Time to go.
Joe, you dropped. Mickey, you're not playing.
What? You look like that?
Nah. Watch this instead.
Calm down. Look, this is for BT, when they do the madness. That's good, my friend.
Time is running out.
Businesses that deal with Europe
will have to follow new rules from the 1st of January 2021.
If it crosses borders.
Definite actions we need to take already.
No matter what.
New rules from 1st of January.
I'll give you a second to jot that down. 1st of Jan.
On Get Ready, it can take longer than you think.
So get on it now at gov.uk/transition.
Got it? Good.
Dove Men Plus Care. Performance and comfort. On and off the pitch. With triple moisturizing technology. Care for every position you play.
Ding, ding, ding.
Switch it up to a spicy Quarter Pounder with cheese. Spicy jalapenos in a fiery sauce and pepper jack cheese. Part of the Quarter Pounder range.
When we designed the Volkswagen ID.3, we didn't want to change the world. We didn't want to make an impact. We didn't want to leave much of an impression at all, really. That's why we built it net carbon neutral. Introducing the all-electric Volkswagen ID.3. Created net carbon neutral.